A boat stuck on a river of sand. Waves of dirt where once were waves of water. Hard to believe this is part of the Amazon River. Reuters News reports this is the second year in a row of critical drought. And at least as far as records go, it's never been this bad. Once navigable waterways are now dry spits of land. Shallower water levels are more susceptible to the heat, and scientists think that could raise temperatures and threaten marine life. The animals also don't have as much space to swim, leading to some deadly boat strikes involving dolphins, though U.S. News and World Report says there haven't been nearly as many of those as there were last year. Still, a researcher who spoke to that media company said it'll be weeks before the region's dry season is over. So the people and wildlife that depend on the river for survival may still have a long wait for relief. Hi, I'm Carl Azuz. I'm battling laryngitis today, as you can hear, so my voice will be even more annoying than usual. Please bear with me. It's great to have you watching the world from A to Z. Since the latest war in the Middle East began, leaders across the globe have been concerned about it becoming a bigger conflict. Those concerns deepened over the past week. At first, the fighting was largely confined to Gaza, a Palestinian territory whose Hamas leaders attacked Israel on October 7th, leading to Israel's declaration of war against Hamas. But another militant group that's an ally of Hamas has been trading fire with Israel. Its name is Hezbollah. It's based in Lebanon and is considered a terrorist group by many countries, and it's supported by Iran, an enemy of Israel. Fighting between Hezbollah and Israel has intensified. Walkie-talkies and pagers, low-tech communication devices used by Hezbollah, suddenly exploded on different days last week, killing dozens of people and injuring thousands. Hezbollah blamed Israel and fired 140 rockets into the country on Friday. Israel then launched an airstrike that killed a top-ranking Hezbollah military officer, along with several other people in the capital of Lebanon. The two sides then continued to trade fire throughout the weekend. How far this goes, how long it goes on, and whether other countries get more involved are all reasons why so much of the world's focus is on the Middle East.
Where in the world? This place is home to the United States' highest mountain outside of Alaska. Though it was never a territory, it became the 31st state in 1850. It has both the largest economy and the largest population of any U.S. state. This is California, a state with more than 38 million residents.
Precious scenes of life in the wild, unfolding next to a monstrosity of concrete and steel. The US 101 is a 10-lane highway that sees more than 300,000 vehicles daily in passing through central Los Angeles. It also separates the Santa Monica Mountains from the Sierra Madre Range, restricting the movement of California's mountain lions, a protected species with a dwindling population.
The cars are going really fast and they're really loud under here. What is that like for an animal?
Yeah, it's terrifying, right? I mean, the noise, the speed, the pavement. Most animals are not going to make it across this alive.
Beth Pratt is one of the driving forces behind the ambitious project to fix that. The Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing will reach over the US 101 freeway at roughly 175 feet wide and extending for 210 feet. It's the equivalent of another 10-lane highway.
The sheer size of it is really inspiring.
The more than 15,000 tons of concrete and steel will be covered with soil and native vegetation. But wildlife crossings are nothing new, from Florida's tunnels to this large-scale crossing in San Antonio, Texas.
It is a natural oasis. Cities see that, hey, it's something that's doable.
A message that it's not too late to let nature back into the human world.
This is all going to be a natural landscape over one of the world's busiest freeways.
Julia Vargas Jones, Agoura Hills, California.
While there's plenty of support for building wildlife crossings, they do have their critics. The one you just heard about is estimated to cost more than $90 million. It's not all taxpayer funds. The Wallace-Annenberg crossing is being built with a combo of public and private money. But people who've opposed these projects say that money could be better spent elsewhere, like improving or repairing existing roadways that drivers use to keep them safer. The Wallace-Annenberg crossing is expected to be finished late next year. On this date in world history, an American teenager named Henry McCarty was arrested on September 23, 1875. It wouldn't be his last brush with the law. McCarty would later become known as William H. Bonney, or Billy the Kid, the infamous outlaw believed to have killed 21 men before a sheriff killed him in 1881. His first arrest on this date was for stealing a load of laundry. This was the date in 1846 when Neptune was officially observed for the first time. Astronomers had likely seen the planet before through telescopes, but 3 researchers from Europe are credited with confirming Neptune as a planet and pinpointing its position. The bluish planet is the farthest from the sun and is named for the mythological Roman god of the sea. And this was the date in 1932 when 2 Middle Eastern kingdoms unified to become the nation of Saudi Arabia. It's the largest country in the Middle East and remains an absolute monarchy.
Word and knowledge. Which of these deserts is the driest on Earth? Sahara, Atacama, Gobi, Great Sandy. The Guinness World Record holder for the driest desert has some spots that have never recorded rain. It's the Atacama Desert in South America.
This is the infamous Atacama clothes dump in Chile, South America. Unsold or secondhand clothes, mostly from the United States, China, and South Korea, often end up here. Chile is the world's 3rd largest importer of cast-off clothes, including fashions that are cheaply made in China or Bangladesh and go quickly in and out of style. 60,000 tons arrive in port every year. Merchants from Santiago purchase the stuff by the bale. Some is resold in other South American countries, but an estimated 40,000 tons ends up in dumps. To highlight the size of the Atacama dump, the satellite image company Skyfi showed in its blog how it could be seen even from space. Besides being wasteful, a lot of the clothing is made with synthetic fabrics that give off pollutants. Activists and agencies are trying to do something about this mess, and some are getting creative in recycling discarded fabrics.
It was an interesting task to search out there, to rummage through the sand. We were looking for shirts, blouses, and such that would allow us to give them a second chance and turn them into something special.
That something special would be creative totes and shopping bags that the kids make and give away as gifts. In another project, professional clothing designers use their skills to repurpose fabric into creative fashions. 11 pairs of artisans took part, creating 110 creative outfits. Of course, 3,700 tote bags and 110 fashion outfits isn't going to make a dent in a dumping ground that's visible from space. But projects like these aren't meant so much for numbers as they are to draw attention, and drawing the interest of others to solving problems.
The only U.S. state we haven't mentioned yet this year is the Ocean State, aka Little Rhodey, and that changes right now. Mr. Keeney's class, it's great to see y'all at Veterans Middle School. It's in the city of Warwick, Rhode Island. We have quite a few teachers to shout out at Clemens Middle School in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Miss Cooper, Miss Evans, Mr. Taylor, and Mr. Campbell. Thank you for watching The World from A to Z. And we land at the home of the Flyers in North Dakota. Mr. Snyder's class is with us from Fordville Lankin Public School. It's in the city of Fordville. It's not every day you hear a swimmer describe her morning routine like this. Quote, "I think of myself as like a big pen in the water." Melody Legal uses her smartwatch to track the designs she swims in a Wisconsin lake. And those designs spell out words and names that help her get exercise and let anyone who sees them know what's on her mind. Why? Well, why not? Her freestyle crawls out letters like a backstroke of a pen, a unique GP aesthetic that's a butterfly way to ink out a likeable message, at least until her font in games turns into a polar plunge when she'll put her swims on ice or skate by on notes that scratch the surface. I'm Carl Azuz, signaling the end of today's edition of The World from A to Z. Means the world to have you watching.